Hello, welcome back to another lesson in our social studies curriculum. This is the Overseas Expansion Unit, and we are on day 3, the start of the Spanish American War and the battles. If you're teaching in Virginia, this is your 1865 to present day curriculum. We start with a warm up, going over last class. We went over the USS Maine. That lesson is linked in the description below. Your learning goals: I can analyze the Spanish American War. Homework: study your notes, and we're going to end today with a CER. I like this lesson because it has a little bit of critical thinking along with some art and history, and students tend to really feel like they can succeed with this lesson. The essential question: how did the Spanish American War impact the United States socially, economically, and politically? That's a pretty big question. Hopefully, we can answer that by the end of the lesson. First, we start with where did the Spanish American War take place? Go over Latin America, Cuba, and why might this be a worthwhile expedition for the United States at such a young time in its history. Go over that Spain is going to be blamed for the USS Maine. Why would it benefit the United States if Cuba was no longer under Spanish control? I like to say that you could swim to Cuba. People have swam to Cuba, blah, blah, blah. But it really blows the kid's mind how close it really is. You could stand at the tip of Florida and see Cuba. It really is that close on a clear day. Next, we go to the yellow journalism. I bring up fake news. I talk about going viral, and I try and make kids relate it to something that they've heard about in their lives where they assumed something, but really it was untrue. These are newspaper headlines as examples. I say, if you woke up this morning and that was what you saw on your social media page, would you blame Spain? And most will say absolutely. There's a video. It's going to go over the battles. I tell kids to look out for 2 battles of the Spanish-American War, what happened. This video also is going to talk about Teddy Roosevelt if you want to bring him up. Next slide is the Teller Amendment. Promised the Cubans the United States will support the Cuban rebels and will allow them to keep their freedom after the war. Say, would that convince you to join the fight? And poll the class and then say why or why not. Do a political cartoon. It's always good to get students exposure to this. They rarely know who Uncle Sam is, even though we do tons of political cartoons. This just doesn't stick in their head. So it's always a good time to bring up who is Uncle Sam, what does he represent, and why are political cartoons so good at telling the mood of a historical event? We have the battles here, another one. You could use it, you could skip it. I don't really care. And then we'll get to the effects of the Spanish-American War. We get Guam, Philippines, Puerto Rico. Cuba is given its independence. U.S. gives Spain $20 million. Spain is no longer colonizing, and the United States is a world power. For activities, I have the essential question. We'll answer it. How has this changed the United States socially, economically, and politically? Students will answer that in their notes paper, write a summary. If you're in an avid school, you should be doing that anyway. And then the activity. So we have a dig deeper that is linked in the speaker notes. It is about a page and a half. It will give students a timeline of events with some positive and negative effects. And then I have students make a storyboard, and they must cover yellow journalism, USS Maine, Teller Amendment, 2 events of the war, and the results of the Spanish-American War. This is a great study guide for the Spanish-American War, and students really have fun because they get to draw a picture for the event, tell me about the event, and it really helps students make connections to the activity. If you like this lesson, please subscribe, download a copy of the lesson, and let me know how it goes. If you have anything you want to suggest, please put it in the comments below. Have a wonderful day.